Hi everyone. I am going to be reviewing the Redeeming Love movie. I'm not going to compare it to the book too much. That's not what I want this review to be. I want it to be the movie. I'm looking for where my book is, right here. You guys probably already know this is the movie cover because this is the cover of the movie. A subscriber sent this movie to me, so I was able to watch it. This is my first time ever watching it. I made sure to not watch any people's reviews of this movie before watching it myself. So a bunch of reviews came out in January because that's when the movie came out. And I saved them all to a different playlist that I'm gonna watch. A couple of my friends have reviewed the movie. But I just wanted my opinion to be my opinion and not influenced by anyone else, because I saw on social media that a lot of controversy surrounded this movie because of the content that is in it. So, but yeah, I watched this movie. I watched it by myself here in my house and let's just do it, okay? If I was gonna rate it, I would rate it 4.5 out of 5, rounding up to 5, I guess. So yes, I liked it a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna super structure this video because just for people that are curious about my thoughts on it, I wanted to like make a little video about it. So I'll talk about different aspects of the movie and I will give my opinion on it. In terms of the casting, I thought they nailed it in every way. I thought the cast was incredible. There were some pretty big names in this movie, which was exciting to see, and the acting was superb. It was perfect in my opinion. So that was a huge plus. It was so good. And then the setting and like the set, I thought was really good. You could tell when some of it was CGI and green screen, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment. I loved Michael's farm. I loved his house. Like, it was pretty much exactly as I pictured it, which is amazing. Yeah, the actual town, like Paradise, wasn't how I pictured it, but I also probably didn't have the right context in my head of how to picture it anyways, so I'll probably from now on, every time I read Redeeming Love, picture the set from the movie of Paradise. And the script, I thought was amazing. I thought it was perfect. Like, there were some exact lines from the book that I recognized. Francine Rivers did have a part in writing the screenplay. At the end of the movie in the credits, it was Francine Rivers and another guy who wrote the screenplay. So you could tell, I thought the writing was really good, or the script was really good. And it wasn't cheesy in any way. Like, it really brought across the intensity of situations, and I thought it was realistic and it worked. All of the accents were great. Like, everyone did an amazing job. You're kind of seeing how much I really like this movie. The timeline of the plot, I think, was done really well because there are flashbacks, and even in the book, like, the book starts off in the past, which the movie does too, right? Yeah, it does. Every flashback just worked. I think where they placed them really like showed Angel in the present. It showed her character even deeper. So it really worked. I liked all the flashbacks. I would say there were times, and I can't really remember specifically, like I didn't take notes while I watched. I didn't like watch thinking, oh, I'm gonna make a review, so I need to think of things. Like, I just watched it for pure enjoyment. So this is truly just like, you know, a completely unscripted review of just my thoughts chatting, so hope that's okay. But I guess I'll just talk about the content and how graphic it went and my experience or reaction to it or feelings about it. So as you know, if you've read the book, compared to the book, the movie was pretty close to how graphic the book was. So the scenes of her as a child and her kind of like introduction to prostitution, it was like really devastating to watch because knowing the book and what she actually does go through, each part of the movie was like, oh, I do actually know what's going on here. And it was really hard to watch the actors, like a child actor, and nothing happened, nothing was shown at all, but you got the picture. And that's same as the book. Nothing is described in the book, but enough is that you know what's going on. So that was hard, but it was like, I don't know, it was deep, it was intense, and I enjoyed it. It was a good kind of intense. All of the prostitution stuff I thought was done really well. Like, again, they would show like a guy pulling up his pants, but no parts were shown. Well, okay, yeah, so here we go. So Angel as a prostitute, when she and Michael are first meeting and he like goes to her brothel room, like the very first scene, she's like buck naked and her hair happens to be long enough to cover her chest, but like she is fully nude in the movie. Like, you can tell, right? And like, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how they did it. Like, was she also nude on the bottom? But I didn't mind it because that is how the book was, and nothing was shown. Like, you could see the outline of her chest, but you know? And like Michael's reaction was like, he looked away right away and he was uncomfortable, and like it matched the scene. It didn't feel out of place. It was fine. It just showed the intensity, like this is real, you know? So there's that. I don't know. I thought it was well done. The part, so there's 4 more things that I want to say. So when she first goes home with Michael, eventually they have sex, and that scene made me uncomfortable. They made out against a wall, and like, you know, he grabs her leg, and the breathing, and just like, okay, if I was reading this in a book, I would be uncomfortable, and I'm also uncomfortable watching it. So that was like, okay, they're going there. Okay, just like look away for a couple seconds. So there's that. It didn't take away my enjoyment, but I do think that like I just can't watch that. So that's too bad, you know? So there's that. There is one more time where they're outside and she knows she's gonna leave, so she wants to have sex with him one more time. And they show they have clothes on, but just like the breathing. It's the breathing. The breathing and the moaning is like, okay. And then just like the position of their bodies, you know. I was like, whoa, okay. Let's look away on that one too. So there's that. Those are the 2 things that I'm like, kind of wish they showed a little less of that, to be honest. That's where the 4.5 comes in. Other than that, everything was totally fine in my opinion. So the other thing I wanted to say is her first, when she first like runs away kind of with Paul, those scenes, I was a little traumatized. Not because they showed anything, but because I know what they did. Like when he like asks for his payment, and then the next scene is him like coming out from behind a rock, like tucking in his shirt, and then they show her like on the ground dry heaving. I'm just like, oh, it's like, it was hard to watch, but not in a way of like I'm uncomfortable. It's like, you know, just like so wrong. So that was like, wow, it was hard, but it's like, dude, this is real life. And that's what I appreciate. And at the same time, even with Angel and Michael and the scenes that they showed of them making out, they're a married couple, and that's how passionate you can be as a married couple, and it's right. So I do understand that, but still, like, it is also supposed to be private, you know, I think, right? And so, like, for me, I just don't want to watch someone else be passionate with their spouse, you know? Okay, and then I'll talk about like my favorite aspects. Basically, Michael, which is he's already a favorite from this book. But Angel was excellent. The actress who played her and the writing and her facial expressions, everything was perfect. Her hair was beautiful. Yeah, she has nice abs too. You get to see them once or twice, and nice abs, girl. And yeah, but okay, Michael washes her feet. That scene was really special. The 2 of them chopping wood was really cute. When he like takes her from the water when she's like scrubbing herself because she feels so dirty, and they like sit under this tree and he like tells her about his dad. So cute. And then the last scene when she walks back. Now, this is a change from the book, and I really appreciate that they changed it because for obvious reasons, but the last scene of the book, now here's some spoilers, I guess. I mean, I've been talking spoilers, I guess, a little bit, so whoops. But the last scene of the book, she like comes back to his farm and takes off all her clothes as she walks towards him, and it's beautiful the way it's written. I love that scene at the end of the book. So I was like, are they gonna do that in the movie? But they didn't, and I really appreciate that they didn't. It just worked. It worked. It worked that they didn't do it. I think if they had done it, it would have felt like too much for me. And so I appreciate that they didn't. She was fully clothed. She walked up to him, said, I love you. They embrace. It's the most beautiful thing ever. And I cried. Okay? I cried at another time, but I forget what time. Because this last time was like so epically cry-worthy that I truly cried for like a solid 20 minutes after this movie because I was so touched. And then also kind of want my own version of Michael, you know? Don't know if that's ever gonna happen, so cried about that too. So yeah, I loved this movie. I thought it was really well done. I would watch it again for sure. So thankful that I own it. And if you've read the book and you liked the book like a lot, I would definitely recommend the movie. It does not ruin the book in any way. It's really good. So yeah, the only things that I would change is showing a little bit less of the two of them huffing and puffing as they kiss. Yeah. But I think that's everything. Like, I really hope that a lot of good comes out of this movie for people who don't know Jesus, and that they're curious about the book and they see how God's forgiveness and grace are for everyone. And the other thing actually is I thought they didn't sugarcoat how at the beginning when Angel and her mom, like the mom is slowly dying and they are praying and feel completely abandoned by God, they didn't sugarcoat that at all. Like they showed how like, yeah, God didn't save the mom and God didn't save Angel from prostitution, and she had a terrible life. She has every right to be angry at God. Like what else does she know? She prayed and nothing happened and bad things happened. And I just appreciated that they showed that. And then the way that she came back around is like she truly had nothing else and she was at her end, and she just was like, I don't know you, but I want to believe in you. And that was it, you know? And I thought it was beautiful. So yeah. That's everything. I would be really curious to hear your thoughts. I do understand if you really didn't like the movie. I would prefer that we don't like go at it in the comments. I'm not gonna like respond to super angry comments or hateful comments. If I like hated the movie and I had strong feelings about it, sure, maybe I'd make a ranty video, but that's not what this is, and I'm not here to rant on it. I do understand how people wouldn't like it and how it wouldn't be good for some people, but that I want to leave it at that, and I don't need to discuss it in the comments. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch all of my friends' reviews now of it and see what they all think. I'm really curious actually. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. I hope that it gave you some insight, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.